Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of February 19th. This week, we are going to jump right in here and see what is going on for you. You have this Cobra and the Tiger. I'm pretty sure you had the Cobra with me in one of your last readings, but the Cobra is about kind of like breaking free from a trance or, breaking free from something that has been keeping you stuck. Damn. Libra. That is a very good first row, so I like that. But, anyway, you could be breaking free from like some sort of trance or from some sort of, something that you think is holding you back. The Tiger, I'm just getting like action on, so I feel like you're taking action or you're about to take action on something, and this looks amazing here, Libra. You have the Sun, the Ace of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune, so there's clearly a change in your fortunes. You know what's really weird is that everyone has had the Wheel of Fortune, so there is clearly some sort of opportunity for everyone to take control of their reality. I look at the Wheel of Fortune as something that we have to do. It's an action that we have to take. And so the action that we have to take is we have to take control of our reality. We can do this in a bunch of different ways. I think the best way to do it is to double down on things that are working in your life. And then when there are challenges, make sure to take care of the challenges very, very quickly. If you do that, that's how you can take control of the wheel. I always say that most people, they live their lives with just the wheel just spinning all over the place, and they have no control over the direction of the wheel. So the wheel, really, we have to, again, double down on the good stuff, take care of the challenges as well very quickly. We also can control the wheel with our vibrations by, staying positive, focusing more on the bright side and, all that other good stuff as well. I would be careful of going this way right here. You have the Tower. You have the Buffalo, and when we get to the Buffalo, I'm going to tell you a story about the Buffalo and why I think it's super important with this Tower. But again, you start with the Cobra and the Tiger. You're ready to take action on something that is probably going to lead to a transformation. You have the Snake card, which is a card of reinvention. It seems to me like everybody is getting these reinvention cards right now, probably Pluto and Aquarius. I really think that, according to Chris's crappy astrology here, I've been talking about this for months, for years, really, for over the past 2 years. Probably since 2020, really, is when I started talking about it, that the cusp of going from Capricorn to Aquarius is the death of establishment, but on a personal level, it can lead to reinvention. I think that also something people forget about with Pluto being in Capricorn is when it's in Capricorn, it is as close to Earth as it possibly can be, Pluto. So, when Pluto has a highly elliptical orbit, and when at Capricorn is when it's very close to Earth. Now entering into Aquarius, it's going away from Earth. It will retrograde one more time into Capricorn before fully moving into Aquarius in November. But again, it's like going away from Earth. This is going to affect generations. I think that pretty much the only thing, really, to me, the most powerful position for Pluto, and when it really only matters because it is so far away, is when it's in Capricorn, because it's so close to Earth, relatively. This is relative, of course. So it is a time of great transformation. Again, next time this happens, we'll all be dead. So we'll never experience it again, right? Unless it's in the next life. So you have the Sun. The Sun is a card of happiness and joy and good things coming in for you. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat this right here. I feel for some of you, maybe you dealt with a connection or a relationship where you thought it was going to lead to marriage and just didn't. And so some of you are probably either dealing with a breakup or a separation, or you've already been through it here. And I kind of feel like you have a choice with this Buffalo, and that's what we're going to talk about in a minute. You have the Ace of Swords. This could be some sort of truth coming out in the situation. Again, very positive first row. I would say the reading in general is very positive. I always tell people that one card does not make the reading. So, just because there's one challenging card doesn't make a bad reading. The other thing I like to remind people is you're not watching tarot for me to say, oh, you have the Tower, you're screwed. The whole point of watching tarot before the week has even happened is that now you know how to work with the energy. It's just energy. These are just pieces of paper with pictures on them. I am just some guy on the internet. That's all I am, right? So none of this can control your life. But what I will say is that I do feel that this could have been some sort of truth. I also feel that your focus is definitely going to determine your reality at this time. Ace of Swords is laser-like focus, being very focused on exactly what you want, exactly what you can do with what you have right now, and doing that is what leads to the victory. We see a lot of victory cards here. Ace of Swords, you have the Chariot, even the Four of Wands can represent crossing a finish line and completing something like a past project, a past business, whatever the case may be. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is a change in your fortunes. I'm trying to see, I kind of feel this right here going to the Strength card could also have to do with why your fortunes are changing. The Strength card is a card of a display of strength. It says that you've put a lot of work into improving your life or creating a positive change in your life. And this positive change is what is causing this change in fortunes. Yeah, with the Sun, you have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is feeling left out in the cold. I just feel, this might not be true for all of you, but I just feel for some of you this way, is that you were left out in the cold by a person in the past who you thought you were going to marry or you thought was going to be a deep connection, and it wasn't. So I just feel that's what that's saying. And with the Seven of Swords, you have with the Ace of Swords, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, it just comes up like crazy. I literally did an interview yesterday, and I was saying how, and the Seven of Swords came up. I was doing a reading on this interview, and the Seven of Swords came up, and I was saying how it's crazy to me that the Seven of Swords comes up like crazy in these readings. And the Seven of Swords is a card of tactics. It's a card of doing things in a different way. And I really, really believe that right now we are in a time of tactics where we have to be tactical in whatever it is that we're doing. We have to come up with a better way, a better plan, a more efficient plan, whatever. So it's like if you're starting a business, it's like, how can you start the business without money? Or how can you start it in the smallest way possible without money? How can you prove that something is going to work before you invest a bunch of time into it, right? These are like all the questions. There's more, but these are all the questions I would be asking with the Seven of Swords. The other thing that I like to ask with the Seven of Swords is, do you really enjoy what you're doing throughout your whole entire day, right? Not just your job, but everything. He has these polka dots on his cloak here, and it represents taking things too seriously. And so sometimes he can represent needing to make sure that you're enjoying yourself, doing things that you do enjoy doing, all that other stuff. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Hangman. The Hangman is being stuck in Hangman mode. I feel like you've gained a new perspective on something, probably a person here. And so I feel you need to, again, for those of you that are thinking about a past person, I feel you need to think about new love or start moving towards new love. I don't really feel this is for most of you, though, which is so weird. Like, I kind of feel like this could just be for a few of you, but for the most part, I would say that you're focusing on something new. Next, you have this New Life card. I mean, there you go, New Life. You have this Here and Now card. So I feel that being present is exactly what you need to do here. And I also feel that there is New Life. I didn't even see that card, or I wasn't paying attention. And there you go. So I really felt new. And there is clearly a new beginning coming in for you. There's like something you have to complete or something that you have to cross over. You have the Four of Wands here. And again, the Four of Wands kind of represents crossing over something or, kind of crossing through a threshold. And we're going to talk about this right now. The Four of Wands, these people are celebrating on the other side of those Four of Wands. But this almost looks like a finish line here. And so I feel for a lot of you, that you have to cross some sort of finish line. This could represent completing something, completing a journey, completing something that has been a challenge for you, ending a relationship, going on to another one. And, this Here and Now card, she's kind of between these two signposts here. And it kind of it reminds me of this Four of Wands. I feel you need to cross this threshold and move on to something new. I also feel that you need to let go of anything that is toxic or that is holding you back. The Devil can also sometimes represent needing to be more creative, and I do feel that for you. He doesn't really represent creative energy, but he represents our baser instincts, and sometimes I feel with the Devil, we have an idea, it's like root chakra energy, and we need to bring that idea up to our head and express it into the world. So there's something that needs to be expressed here. I feel that more intuitively. It's not really showing up in the cards, but if you have a creative idea, if you have a unique idea on how you can, like I said with the Seven of Swords, how you can create something in the world or do something new with your life, I would embrace that idea. You have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is a knight in shining armor. There definitely could be love here. It could be a Leo. You have the Sun in the Strength card. Could be any sign. You have Cancer. You have the, Capricorn. You have Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo right here with the Wheel of Fortune. So, could be literally any sign. But let's see. And with the Knight of Cups, you have the Temperance card. I do feel like there could be a knight in shining armor that it could be a Sagittarius as well. I suppose I should say that it could just be a fire sign, but this could be something that you've been waiting for a long time. And maybe you've learned how to be present, or maybe you've had a lot of lessons over the past few years that have kind of required you to sit in impatience or whatever you want to call it. And it's almost like that is the thing that is bringing love into your life. Yeah, with the Four of Wands, you have the Empress, so definitely very attractive at this time. I feel you could be attracting a new person. It's kind of funny, they only show up as the Knight of Cups, which really actually doesn't mean much to me. Whenever I have a reading like this with the Knight of Cups, I would prefer that someone else also show up, because the Knight of Cups is almost like the action, if that makes sense. That's how I'm seeing it in my head, as in, a person approaching you, a person sweeping you off your feet, whatever. And after that, I would like to see a person show up. So we're going to have to see if someone else shows up. But with the Devil, you have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, I would definitely let this go right here, whatever this past thing is. The real reason that I would let it go is this right here. You have the Snake and you have the Buffalo. The Snake is about transformation. It is a card of transmutation as well, but really it's a card of reinvention. So you could be reinventing yourself. The Buffalo has the lightning on it, just like the Tower. And there is a story about the cow and the buffalo. And if you don't know the story, I'm going to tell it to you. So, buffalo, whenever there's a storm, they basically run right through it. Cows, they run away from the storm, and they try to outrun the storm. So the buffalo goes through things, and they get to the other side of the storm, and on the other side of the storm, there's always like fresh green grass, and it's been cleaned because it was rained on, and it's always like much nicer. The cows, because they try to run away from the storm, they end up running and running and running, and eventually they get tired, and so they get stuck in the storm, and they just get rained on, and they don't get to the fresh green, clean, growing grass, right? So the buffalo is, in this deck, it's a card of abundance as well, so there could be abundance. But with the Tower here, the buffalo is kind of like saying, go through something so that you can get to the other side, so you can get to the green grass. And I feel like that's what this reading is kind of saying, or part of it at least is. And what I feel like this is for some of you is a breakup. Sometimes I think we go through a breakup and, we think we want that person back, or we think we want to go back to the person because maybe it will take away the pain. But, maybe, I'm not saying you're, obviously going through pain, but, I feel that if you would just go through the breakup and get to the other side, you're going to feel a lot better. For others of you, this could be a process that you're going through. I don't actually feel too bad about this Tower. Whenever I have the Tower in the Chariot, to me, that can just be a move as well. So some of you could be moving. But again, for others, I feel this could be a process. You are building something in your life, or maybe you're wanting to build something in your life, and I feel this is saying that you need to just keep pushing and keep going, because you're clearly very close to the end. You have the Ten of Wands. And this is also why I would encourage you. Like, if you were to turn around right now, it's almost like you're at the end of a storm in your life, Libra. And if you were to turn around right now, it's like you would just go through all of that again, But it's like, what you need to realize is like you're this close to getting through to the other side. And that's what the Ten of Wands says. Personally, I like the Ten of Wands. He is carrying a harvest, and he planted those wands. He's about to reach his home in the background here, and he's about to have a harvest. So to me, it's a good card. Yeah, he's burdened. Yes, he has experienced a lot of challenges and difficulties, but again, he's about to have a harvest. How is that? How is that a bad thing, right? I always feel that the Ten of Wands gets a bad rap. It's a really good card. You have the Strength card. The Strength card is about going through something that builds strength. So obviously, if you've been going through a storm in your life, this is something that is probably been character building, or has built character, or has built your strength, or has taught you how to deal with things, or how to overcome things in the future. So that's really what I get there. With the Shahiri we go. This is exactly what I wanted. You have the King of Pentacles. So it doesn't matter what gender you're into. I like the King of Pentacles for love, because he is a person who really puts in the work, a person who wants to make something last forever. You could be attracting a buffalo type of person here, into your life as well. This would be Taurus, and, the buffalo we could pretend is Taurus, right? And so I almost feel like you could be attracting a person who goes through storms, They don't run away from things. And I think that there are two different types of people in the world. There are people who run away from things, and there are people who go through it and learn from it, or, they, kind of go through it and they get something for it. They get their treasure at the end of a difficult time, right? And I feel you could be attracting a person like that who doesn't run away. With the Ten of Wands, you have, and by the way, again, King of Pentacles to me represents a person who wants something to work and wants something to last. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is my card of planting seeds and moving in new directions. So, Really, I think the Six of Pentacles comes up when we need to experiment in life, when we need to start getting something else to grow in our life. And it seems to me that's what you're doing. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I love 2 6s. So you have 2 6s right here. And to me, 2 6s says that you're going in the right direction. You're on the right path. You're doing the right things that you need to do to be successful. So love it. With the Tower, you have the 2 of Wands. What really just popped into my head as well is I feel for some of you, someone has done something that really does end it, whatever you've been through. So maybe, I kind of have a weird story popping into my head about you maybe seeing a person, like seeing their true colors, but it's like they've done something that is just beyond beyond being able to be repaired. There's nothing else that can be done here. So I do feel that kind of like final ending with a person. Some of you have clearly experienced that or are currently going through that. For others, this could be a job as well. So again, maybe there's something going on in your job or your career where you're thinking, I need to step out into the world. He has the whole world in his hands right here. He's taking the lead and he's moving forward towards, something new, or he needs to. And so that's what I feel for a lot of you. I think the world is changing, and the Tower comes up. Like almost everyone this week has had the Tower, and so I think that the world is changing. And if you feel that you need to make a change yourself, then I would make it. You have that Snake card. The Tower can be avoided, as I always tell people, because the Tower is just ignoring reality. So if you don't ignore reality, if you see reality for what it is, like the buffalo sees a storm and is like, well, I need to get to the other side because that's where the sweet, clean grass is, right? I need to get to the other side where the grass is growing because it's been rained on, because it's been, it's gained all this new life from the water. Then, if you do that, then you will be very successful. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Chopwood card and this Y card. Yeah, it's time to get to work here. This is the good stuff, but I do feel like no more questions. Sometimes I think we want to start something and we do what's called majoring in the minors, right? So like I've been working with a bunch of YouTubers, teaching, and I've been doing a lot of teaching for YouTube as well, doing various things. And, it's kind of funny because like a lot of the questions I get whenever I, teach a course or whatever, people will say things that just don't matter, right? Or just aren't that big of a deal right now. And, I kind of feel that the Y card is saying that to you. It's saying there are some things that you might be asking about your journey or your direction or what you're building. But are those things really important? Are the questions you're asking really important, or should you just get started? And I kind of have that feeling here where it's time to just get started on whatever it is that you're trying to create, build, be, have, whatever it is. You have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is a turnaround. So I do feel like there could be some sort of turnaround coming in for you here, or, some sort of turnaround in your life. The Six of Cups is a gift from the universe, and it can represent obstacles being removed from your path. So it can represent thinking about the past or, soulmates. I do feel like there could be a soulmate coming in here, clearly. But I really feel this is more about obstacles being removed from your life. You have the 2 6s in the same direction, like I said, which is confirmation for your path. You also have the Chariot. You have the Chariot twice. You have it on the bottom of your clarifying deck as well, which is interesting. But you have the Chariot, and the Chariot, he's leaving that city behind him behind. I feel like you always get the Chariot, because I feel like I'm always saying this to you. You don't have the Seven of Pentacles, which is a shocker, but this is very similar to the Seven of Pentacles because he's leaving something behind. He is changing direction. He is leaving that city, and he's allowing the universe to guide him in a new direction. He has no clue where he's going. He's just trusting that the universe is going to guide him. You have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is about curiosity. The Page of Swords to me is about moving towards your curiosity. And so, this right here could say a past person is spying on you, by the way. But I feel it's time to, bury the past. I think it's time to, fully move forward and kind of, let something die. With the Six of Cups, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Yes, damn. Really good here, Libra. I think that there's a lot of success. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire. I promise you. I tell everybody that I think over the next 10 years, really until 2033, so maybe a little less than 10 years, I see a lot of people looking back and being like, wow, I didn't do anything. I just worried about every little thing that went on around me, right? There's just this energy of worry, concern, worrying about things in the news or the world or whatever. And, I really want to help people avoid that situation. I really want to help people, focus on building something great. I really want to help someone, people kind of like avoid this. It's funny because, I said this a while ago, and a Libra on Twitter, I really think she's in love with me. So I think that's a problem here. But anyway, she's clearly obsessed with me, but she tried to cancel me saying that I said something about the whole Israel-Palestine thing because I was saying I want people to stop focusing about the news. I never said anything about it, never expressed my feelings towards it, but apparently I'm a shill for Israel because I said that I want people to focus more on the positive, right? So she's clearly obsessed with me. Every time I talk about it, she posts something about it, so she supports me as well. Pretty interesting. But what I would say here, Libra, for the rest of you that are smart, that understand this, I think that you could build something amazing in the world, and we need more of that so we can stop these stupid conflicts and all this stuff that's going on in the world, right? With the Chariot, you have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is about you being successful and you kind of like trusting your inner voice. The Queen of Wands has no proof that what she wants to do is going to work. She just moves towards the sun. She has this sunflower right here. The sunflower points towards the sun. And so I feel for a lot of you that you just need to follow your bliss. You need to follow your inner voice. Just like I just said, you need to build something great in the world. I really believe that we need to be an inspiration for people. There's just like a lot of bad ideas. All these ideas, war, stuff like that, bad idea, right? Just no matter what side you're on. Doesn't matter. Killing people is wrong. That's how I feel about it. And, so again, how do we stop this? We have to build better things. That's what I will always preach, right? I won't be getting on Twitter whining about some dude on the internet, right? Me. Who cares? With the Page of Swords, you have the Six of Swords. Another six, definitely moving on. You have two sixes both ways, this way and this way. I feel that, in a lot of ways, the sixes are really saying you're going in the right direction. Whatever you're doing is working here, Libra. I think that you are moving on from something challenging, clearly, and you are working on, your life's work with that Ten of Pentacles, really. You have this Quarrel card. I think you need to be careful of the past for sure. I wouldn't really say this is like an ex coming back or whatever, but you do have the Wheel of Fortune, which is one of the few cards I consider to be an ex coming back. Then you have the Nine of Swords, which is like repeating a negative cycle. So it doesn't even have to be an ex. If there's just like a person, if you've had a negative cycle with a person or a challenge or whatever, then I feel that this is saying, be careful of that person or block them or whatever. You have this Romance card. Definitely could be love entering into your life. We see love showing up here. It could be a Taurus. You have a ton of Taurus showing up here. Doesn't have to be. Whatever you're into, doesn't matter. Could be any sign. But I feel that this could be like a true love. You have this Discovery card. Didn't we see? Oh, yeah. You had the... Oh, I thought you had the 3 wands. You had the 2 wands, though. 2 wands, he has a whole world in his hands. So, these Discovery cards are about going on an adventure, getting out into the world and, seeing, opening yourself up to new opportunity. You have this Inspiration card, Queen of Wands, for sure. And also, I would say the Sun as well in your reading. I feel like you need to move towards things that inspire you, that excite you, all that other good stuff, right? And finally, you have this Enterprise card, Ten of Pentacles. I feel a lot of you are working on improving your finances and, all that other good stuff. But this is a pretty deep reading here, Libra, because I think that it's about you getting to the greener grass or something. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.